Good day. I am here to discuss solid of revolution using washer method. And our objectives for today's video is to illustrate solid of revolution using washer method and solve problems involving solid of revolution using washer method. Now, first, let us discuss volumes of solids. If the area of the base of a right cylinder is A square units and the height is H units, then if V represent the volume in cubic units, then we have here the volume is equal to the area of the right cylinder, the base of the right cylinder multiplied by the height of the right cylinder. Okay. Now, let us try to consider this figure. This figure shows a solid S that lies between two planes whose areas are represented by A of B and A of small letter A. And these plane regions are perpendicular to the x-axis at point A, or yes, it is perpendicular to the x-axis at point A here and point B. Moreover, let us just say A of x be the or A of x square units with the area of the plane region or plane section of S that is perpendicular to the x-axis at point X. Now, before proceeding, note, let us or we should take note that A should be continuous at the closed interval from A to B. Now, let us just say that delta be a partition of the closed interval A to B given by now here we can see that A is the first number on this interval and it will be represented by x sub 0 and b will be the last number on this interval that can be represented by x sub n. And any numbers between these interval will be denoted by x sub 1, x sub 2, up to x sub n minus 1. Now, it only implies that there will be n numbers of subintervals having this form x sub I minus 1 up to x sub I. Okay? Now, we should take note that this I can be any number between from 1 to up to the number n. And its length or the length of these interval or they have the equal length uh, will be represented as delta sub I x, which is or which can be computed by subtracting x sub I by x sub I minus 1, or the number that is that follows or that uh, before the x sub I. Now, let us just say we let w sub I a number that satisfy this inequality. W sub I is in between x sub I minus 1 and x sub I. Now, for or this x sub I minus 1 and x sub I can be any number from A or from the closed interval A to B. Then it implies that n right cylinders can be constructed having the heights as delta sub ix units. The height of these right cylinders will be delta sub ix units, and the area of the plane region will be A of W sub I square units. Now, if we're going to take a look at this is the figure that I'm referring to. No? This is a right triangle or a right cylinder having the area of the plane region as A of W sub I and having the thickness as delta sub I x. And this portion here of the solid will be called the ith right cylinder, and it is also known as an element of volume. Now, how are we going to compute for the area of the element of the volume? Okay, let us just say that the element of the volume or the volume of this element is represented by delta sub IV. Okay, therefore, delta sub IV, using the formula earlier that we have, V is equal to H or V is equal to A times H, or the area of the plane region multiplied by the height. Since A of W sub I represent the area of the plane region, so we have A of W sub I. And since delta sub I x represents the height of this right cylinder, so we have here delta sub I x. We just need to multiply these two for us to compute for the volume. Now, since we have the area of the ith right cylinder or the area of the element of the volume, we just need to sum all these elements for us to approximate the volume of the right cylinder or the volume of the solid. So doing so, we have to sum it all up. No, so the summation of the delta sub IV from I is equal to n is equal to the summation of A of W sub I delta sub Ix from I is equal to 1 up to n. Okay? Now, since n should be as large as possible to have a better approximate of the volume, it means we should partition the we should have a partition that is small as possible, no? Then delta sub I x, or the difference between these subintervals, should be small as possible, or making delta sub I approaches zero. Now, since we want delta sub I x approaches zero, it will lead us to the definition of the volume of a solid. This is the definition of the volume of a solid. By the way, all these materials or all these the content of these is taken from the Calculus 7 written by Louis Lighthouse. Now, let S be a solid such that S lies between planes drawn perpendicular to the x-axis at point A and point B. If the measure of the area of the plane region of S drawn perpendicular to the x-axis at x is given by A of x, and we should take note that A should be continuous on the closed interval A to B, then the measure of the volume of S is given by the volume is equal to the limit of the summation of A of W sub I multiplied by delta sub I x from I is equal to 1 up to n as x approaches, or as delta sub I x approaches 0, is this will be the representation, or this is how we will compute for the volume of the solid. Now, for us to solve it easier, it can also be rewritten as the volume is equal to the integral of A of x dx from A up to B. Now, in the previous definition, actually, we can also replace x by y. But in this case, if we replace x by y, it only implies that the solid is lying between planes that is perpendicular to the y-axis. A while ago, the planes are perpendicular to the x-axis. It is a vertical, or these are vertical planes. While on this case, the planes are horizontal. It is parallel to the x-axis. And the measure of the area of the plane region of S thrown perpendicular to the y-axis at y is given by A of y. So A of y is it is x as a function of y. Now, A should also be continuous at C and D, or from C to D, close interval C to D. And then now the volume of S is given by, now the only difference between the formula earlier and this formula is this one. Instead of having x, we have your y. And here, instead of having x, or we also have here y. That is the only difference in this case, no? And now the volume is the integral of a of y dy. A while ago, this is a of x dx from C to D. I just use different letter or variable to represent the interval at from C, or from or for y's, no? A while ago, I use A and B. Now I use from C to D. Now let us have this example. We must use slicing to find the volume of a pyramid whose altitude is h units and whose base is a square of side s units. Now, this example will lead us to the derivation of the formula of the square, volume of the square pyramid. Now, consider this figure. This figure above, or the figure that you can see on this presentation, shows a square pyramid in which the center of its base, for us to make, or for us to have an easier analysis on this, the base is at the origin, or the center of the base is at the origin, and its altitude lies on the y-axis. Now, the plane section of the pyramid, this is the plane section. This is the plane section of the pyramid, drawing perpendicular to the y-axis. It is perpendicular, or yes, it is perpendicular to the y-axis. Okay, and the point of intersection of the line and this plane is at 0, y. Okay, now let us proceed to some further analysis. If the length of a side of this square is z units, as you can see, it was represented by z. No? So the length of the side is a z. This is a z. This is also z. No, this is also z, and this is also z. Then by similar triangles, we can arrive at this uh, figure. No, now if you're going to ask me, sir, why is one half z? Because we just consider the half of the pyramid. Okay, so since we consider only the half of the pyramid, so the whole thing is z, and its half should be one half z. Same goes with this. The whole thing here, the base of the pyramid is represented by s. So it implies that its half is one half s. Now, also recall, the height of the pyramid is h. So we have your h. The whole thing here is h. And the height, for the distance between the base and the plane region, is denoted by y. Because if you can still remember, it is or the plane region intersect the y-axis at 0, y. So it implies the distance from here, or from the base up to the plane region, is y units. Okay, so we have our y. Since we have our y, for us to compute here, or compute this, we have h as this distance h minus y. We will subtract this portion to this. portion. So we have here h minus y. Now, if we're going to recall the concept of similar triangles, it let us have this equation. Okay, 1 at z is the base of the triangle, the base of the small triangle, over h minus y, the altitude of the bigger, or the altitude of the small triangle. Now, next is the base of the bigger triangle is 1 of s, over the altitude of the bigger triangle is h. So we have here 1 half s over h. So we have this equation. Now, after having that equation, let us simplify it further. Let us cancel 1 half since they have the same, or we just multiply both sides by 2 to cancel those, no? So we have a z over h minus y is equal to s over h. Now we want to express, or we want to isolate z. So h minus y will be multiplied to both sides and it will give us z is equal to s over h. This is the s over h here, no? Multiplied by the denominator, h minus y. So we have here z is equal to s over h multiplied by the difference of h and y. Therefore, if a of y square units is the area, this should be area, no, of the plane section. For us to compute for the area, we just need to square z. However, z is just s over h multiplied by the difference of h minus y. Squaring these value will give us s squared. S times s is s squared. Okay, s squared. S squared. Okay. Divided by h squared. Okay, the denominator has been squared or was been squared. Also, the difference of h and y will also be squared. Now, let us recall this figure. Now, if you can still remember, uh, A of W sub I represents the area of the plane region at W sub I. So, and recalling the definition earlier, we can also say, or we can also represents the thickness as delta sub Iy. If this is the case, the volume V of the pyramid is given by V is equal to the limit of the summation of W sub A of W sub I multiplied by delta sub Iy from I is equal to 1 up to n. As delta sub Iy approaches 0, or simply we can also rewrite it this way. The volume is equal to the integral of A of y dy from 0 to h. However, if you can recall this form or this equation, we should remember that A of y is equal to s squared over h squared multiplied by the square of the difference of h and y. Now, since those two are just equal, we just need to replace A of y by this one. And it will give us this. We need to find the integral of s squared over h squared multiplied by the square of the difference of h and y. Since s squared and h squared are just, or are some constant, we just take it out, or take it out, no. Taking it out will give us, or we will just integrate h minus y squared, or the square of the difference of h and y. And integrating it will give us negative of the cube of h and y, or the cube of the difference of h and y all over 3 from 0 up to h. We haven't removed the limits or the boundaries because we haven't evaluated it yet. No. Now, if we're going to evaluate it, it will give us, so we have here h minus y was replaced by h. So we have here h minus h. And in this case, or in this portion, we have h minus, since y will be replaced by 0, we have here h minus 0. Now, h minus h is simply 0, and h minus 0 is simply h. So the whole thing here is 0. And subtracting a negative number will turn out to be addition. So it implies that we have here 0 plus h cubed over 3. And adding these two will give us h cubed over 3. Now, we need to multiply h cubed over 3 to s squared over h squared. Hence, by some cancellation, uh, we will have s squared multiplied by h all over 3. So, sis, we should take note that um, s squared is just the area of the base. So the area of the base will be multiplied to the height of the pyramid, and we need to divide the product by 3 for us to compute for the volume. Now, before we proceed to solid of revolution, we or by the way, the solid of revolution will be discussed on the next video.